Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good.
Today we invite you to go on a hike with us in the Grand Canyon. This is the Bright Angel Trail. Watch us as we go from bright-eyed to exhausted, and everything in between.
There's your geology lesson for today.
And a little geology fun along the way. Here we go. Day 2, we're waiting at the bus stop. There's lots of people here.
Now approaching Hermit's Rest Transfer.
Whew, that bus.
A lot of people in it. A lot of people going hiking today.
All right, we're going to the trail now. He said how many minutes does it take to get there, and it depends on how fast we walk and how many people are in the way. On we go. It's all happy when you're at the top and you're starting. You get excited. And the weather is much more in our favor today.
6,900. 19 elevation all the way to, let's see, how low can we go?
After yesterday's rain and snow, water collected to form these ice patches at the base of every hiking step. We only saw them in the morning, as we were in the shadows on the south side. For our amateur hiking detective badges, we found proof of mules. This sign says, "When mules pass, stand to the inside of the trail and follow the mule guide's instructions." I cannot wait until we find some mules. This is the first tunnel. It only took us 10 minutes to get here, and I saw lots of people in inappropriate shoes, like clogs and heels, which to me means they were not prepared to go on a hike today, but they did want to do a little bit. In America, we have to have signs like these. Good tip. The unique thing about hiking the Grand Canyon is that you descend first. Usually you find a mountain and you go up and then come back down. But not here. You go down first. When starting your hike at the South Rim, in the fall or winter, the sun projects these grand shadows, giving your scenery a vibrant three-dimensional landscape.
That's it.
Yeah, we're in our one little patch of sun of the trail. He hates me taking videos. As we go on this hike, let's take a moment to appreciate what we're standing on. Notice the light yellow color of this rock. It's the Kaibab limestone. And I'm going to freeze frame right here to show you it goes darker and then lighter again. The darker one is the Toro Weep Formation, and again under that is the Coconino Sandstone. During the fall here, most of this trail is in the shade. We've got our one little patch of sun, but we're about to be in the shade in a moment. And that'll be it for the whole hike. Okay, bye-bye, sun. See you later. What temperature is it right now?
29.
29 Fahrenheit.
It's gonna drop when we go.
And it's 10:30-ish a.m. Yeah. Both sides of the canyon have the same layered striations, which means that tiny cream stripe on the other side is the same as this huge off-white Coconino sandstone we're about to descend into. The Kaibab and Toro Weep formations are the rim's youngest cap rocks at about 270 million years old. Go down in elevation about 500 to 700 feet, and you find the Coconino sandstone at about 275 million years old. Just to put it into perspective, the top layer predates the beginning traces of the evolution of dinosaurs by at least 20 million years. And it didn't start eroding until about the end of the age of dinosaurs, and it probably started out as a series of smaller canyons. But most of the Grand Canyon as we know it today took shape more recently, within the past 6 million years. Yes, on the geologic scale, 6 million years is the blink of an eye. Some of the oldest rock at the bottom, where the Colorado River cuts through today, is 1 billion years older than the age of dinosaurs. Sandstone forms when rock grains, usually quartz, are cemented together. It has a gritty texture like sandpaper. Anytime you see sandstone, imagine it was an ancient beach, the edge of the ocean. You might find a couple fossils, like shells, and is usually the same color as a beach you would see today. The walls of the Grand Canyon are primarily sandstone.
Right behind you.
I smell pine. What did you smell?
Oregano.
Oregano.
Not wrong.
We're still happy because we're going down.
Wait till we start climbing up again. You gotta be very happy.
Wait till later. Thank goodness we did not need to use this 911 call box at the 1.5 mile rest house. Here we have descended into the Hermit Shale and Supai group. The Hermit Formation is about 280 million years old, and the Supai group is about 285 to 315 million years old. The iron oxides in the Hermit Formation and the Supai group cause most of the redness in the canyon walls. I mentioned earlier that a sandstone is a beach or a shallow ocean when it's formed. A shale is when you're a little deeper. Those finer grains can travel farther out into a deeper ocean and collect there. Usually, they're the same color or sometimes a little darker than the sandstone. There's Ron adding to erosion.
Wow. Imagine you fall like this.
He's thinking about pushing me over. He's testing the rocks.
You didn't go too far, so you stay alive.
Okay. Still in the shade. We're about 2 mile mark. I'm feeling great.
Yep.
Still. We're in the Supai group. It averages about 2,000 feet thick, so we'll be in it for a while. Yes, quick break for mules, and then we'll be into the Bright Angel Shale, down below.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you guys?
Good.
What's that? No, I haven't. That's probably the only thing I would do. If you guys look down to your right here, this rock kind of looks like it has tire tracks on it. Those are prehistoric lizard tracks. Those lizard tracks predate the dinosaurs.
There you go. There's your geology lesson for today. Or your anthropology.
More?
So, just like the park ranger said, these are prehistoric lizard tracks that predate the dinosaurs. If you look closely up top, there's another set of tracks. This fossil dates back 313 million years ago, when a large lizard-like creature crawled up a coastal sand dune. Sometime later, a light dew wet the tracks, cementing them in place, and then a wind-blown sand buried them, preserving the animal's clawed footprints for eons. The sedimentary rocks of the Grand Canyon cover over 1 billion years of time, and fossils like this give us so much information of the Earth that was before. We've heard if you want to take a mule, you have to reserve it a year and a half in advance. So you have to know when your vacation is for work.
And when you're walking down the trail, you gotta make sure that you don't step on any scats or poops.
There's lots of evidence that they have gone before us. Freshies.
The evidence.
Today I'm wearing my orange so I can be seen, and my monarch socks. As you can see, I'm still in my big black Save the Duck puffer coat, so it's still pretty chilly here in the fall. This is mile marker 3. Even though we've already hit the 3 miles on our Apple Watch. And that's supposedly where we're trying to get to, the Indian Garden. Me personally, I like to have some boiled eggs on my stop. Ron's having a half sandwich for a little snack at the 3 mile mark. It's taken us 2 hours. What's temperature? 40. I think we've made it into the red wall limestone, which is just below the Supai group. Limestone is composed of calcium carbonate, which is mostly crushed seashells and skeletal fragments of animals that had lived in a shallow sea. You can always do your test for limestone if you brought your vinegar. A couple drops will make it fizz, and then you know it's calcium carbonate. Or any sort of acid rain will make a limestone erode quickly. Below the red wall limestone is the Bright Angel Shale. The greenish Bright Angel Shale forms the Tonto Plateau, an easily recognizable platform above the inner canyon. Look at all the snow from yesterday that went up the hill. Let's take a quick look at the flora in the area. I believe this to be a bush called ephedra. It's a cone-bearing shrub that has jointed green stems. You can just make out the tiny joints in the stems that contain leaves as well as male and female cones on different plants. It's also called Mormon tea because the Mormon pioneers made tea from the dried stems. As we descend farther into the red wall limestone, I believe this is a pinyon pine on our left and a Utah juniper on our right. You can tell the juniper by the tiny cones that look like blueberries. I can see why they called it the red wall limestone. Limestone, however, isn't usually red, but this one is because the sandstone above its iron oxide has seeped down through erosion. Limestone's usually a grayish off-white color that comes from the seashells that are compacted.
Don't them do this. I don't even feel like, oh, people can't walk in the car. Okay, whatever.
As we descend to the bottom of the red wall limestone, we can see that 500 feet above us is all limestone. This comprises of about 100 million years of when this area was a wide, shallow sea. As our hike starts to flatten out, we enter the greenish Bright Angel Shale. We've made it to some flat land-ish, but it's so beautiful. We're gonna feel great coming back on this flat land. We're gonna be so confident that we can make it all the way back up. We just hit the 4 mile mark, but we do have to go back 4 miles. We'll see. So remember that whole time when we were in the shade? We spent 2 hours in the shade so far. We're about to hit the sun and probably have to take off this jacket. There it is. See that angel halo behind my hair? I think I'll take off my jacket right now. This video doesn't have very much fauna in it, but I did come across this one rock squirrel. You can tell by its large size and long bushy tail and confidence to be admired. If you haven't been able to see that the bright angel green shale was greenish before, we can definitely tell now that we have a closer look. All right, hubby, now that we're in the sun, what's the temperature?
45.
No,
You asked me, why are you saying no?
it's warmer than that. Plus, we're at lower elevation.
46.
46. Yeah, it feels like 46. On the flat, in the sun, the terrain, the flora and fauna is so different. I've seen 2 squirrels. No lizards, unfortunately. Not a good eye to see them. But it's so much greener. Ooh, nice flare. Ready to take off another layer.
All these plants here, the ones surrounded by a fence or even on the trail, they grow by an inch and they can die by a foot. So the state park would suggest for you to stay on the trail so you won't kill anything.
There's facilities and a campground. In November of 2022, Indian Gardens was renamed Havasupai Gardens. Today, Havasupai Gardens is a cool and green rest stop and campground along the Bright Angel Trail, a haven for tired hikers still facing the Bright Angel's steepest sections while going up.
I'm pretty sure there's water here.
Get trees this high?
This tree needs water.
And big? In the desert southwest, a little water makes all the difference. So the color green and the tall trees is all the more beautiful and inspiring because of its scarcity. You do have to have a permit to use the campgrounds, and it usually books a month to 4 months in advance. But no permit is required for lunching or meditating or listening to the babbling brook. A little Indian garden oasis. I've heard it said that a day hike to Indian Garden and back from the South Rim is one of the best things you can do in the national park. If you can handle a strenuous, steep 10-mile round trip, then the spring and fall is the best time to go, and we're here in the fall. The Havasupai began farming this and other spring-fed areas of the canyon in at least the 12th century, and were still doing so when Europeans and Americans arrived in the 19th century. The Havasupai still physically occupy and protect the land on the south rim of the park. The Grand Canyon was named a national park in 1919, and the National Park Service took control of the area in the early 1920s. Time to pack up all the traces of us being here and start our journey in reverse. Okay, we're at Indian Garden. We made it down in 3 hours and had a nice little half-hour break for lunch. And now we're going to start our ascent, which is where the real hike is. But I just want to say how nice it's been as far as how clean everything is. There's no litter anywhere. I haven't seen one plastic wrap of anything.
Thank you to all the respectful hikers who carry out their own trash.
I don't want to stop and up waiting for you to catch up with me.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
The hike starts now. We're going up because my watch says that I only gained 40 feet elevation coming down. So now we'll see what the difference is. Okay, here we go. This was a lovely little oasis, this Indian Garden. As you can see, I'm already starting to lose my breath rather. But if you have the stamina, come down and enjoy a picnic here. It's got a beautiful stream. The water tasted crisp and cool. Delicious, like it's been purified by moss, which it has. But I'll tell you when we're closer to the top how much it really is worth it. My watch says my heart rate is at 147. Great. We're still in the sun. Haven't made it to the shade, the meat of the hike. The elevation of the hike. We'll do it. We have to.
As we pass other hikers and other hikers pass us, this is the true test of our stamina and how fit we are. Seeing the sun quickly setting, we take our last look from the same level of the Tonto Plateau.
From now on, there's no more sun. It's going to be shady all the whole time. The sun is setting behind the walls.
Oh boy. Our last little moments of being in the sun. And then back to the sweaty cold.
Back to the grind.
Oh, okay. Sun's gone. Okay.
Night and day.
Even though the weather is much better today, it's so clear compared to the snow yesterday. I'll take it.
We're still in the relatively flat part of the finely grained mudstones and siltstones of the Bright Angel Shale. For the basics of geology, there's 3 types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic. It starts with igneous rocks. They're the ones that come from inside the earth, like a volcano or a giant bubble of rock material that just hardens and forms underneath other earth crust.
Let's stop the momentum.
Okay, done from the easy. Here we go. Hard part.
Then, when igneous material erodes, or animal material settles, that's when gravity kicks in and forms horizontal stripes, like what we see here. This is sedimentary rock that makes up all of the upper Grand Canyon. Here we are pretending to not be tired. To finish it out, metamorphic rock is igneous or sedimentary rock that has undergone time, pressure, and heat underneath the surface and made it as something different. For example, limestone becomes marble. Now that you can impress your friends that you know the 3 basic types of rocks, let's review where we are. We've come up through the nice easy slopes of the Bright Angel Shale, and now we're in the hard switchbacks of coming up quickly in that elevation of the Red Wall limestone. going up, feeling pretty good. We're almost at the 3-mile hut. We're still huffing and puffing, but we're doing fine. Making good time. My hair's up because it's sweaty. At the 3-mile hut. Seven miles.
3 more to go.
Feeling good. It's what we wanted. There's the garden, and they're almost in the shade. All this time later, we just hit the 7-mile mark.
While we rested, a group of hikers passed us, and then they rested, and we passed them. This continued on for a little bit.
They rest, we rest.
Do-si-do. We're back where we saw the mules.
Remember how I mentioned that shale, sandstone, and limestone are all formed in varying depths of a shallow sea? This is a picture of what geologists believe to be what North America looked like about 300 million years ago. As you can see, most of Florida and the middle parts are all underwater.
Indian Gardens, way in the shade now. Should we camp here?
Yes.
Come up all this way. On that trail, way down there. Just hit the 8-mile mark. 2 more to go to get to the top. And our legs feel like jello. And he's carrying all the weight.
Almost there. Almost there.
Feels so good.
Another 2 miles.
The restrooms at the 1.5 mile mark, which is not exactly 1.5 miles. But those shadows, the beaut. It's a beauty. After a quick rest at the 1.5 mile house, we've got our last 1.5 miles plus to go. Check out those shadows. We're still in the sandstone though, almost to the limestone before the top. The Apple Watch says we've climbed at least 1,900 feet in elevation so far, and my hair's down again. It's a little cooler. That's where we're going. Still a lot to go. Yesterday, we did 8 miles flat. Granted, it was snowing, but today we're doing 10 miles with a steep grade. A little winded. Finally, that looks so tiny from when we were all the way down below. Still plenty to go. Just hit the 9 mile mark. Been 9 miles, 1 to go. You can't take a break for more than 30 seconds. You can only catch your breath. Otherwise you get cold. We're almost there. Many believe they are strong hikers, and a hike into the canyon is easy. Know your limits. Be sure to pack water, snacks like protein bars, electrolytes, maybe in the pill form, fruit, a hat, and some mineral, reef-safe sunscreen. It's just a suggestion. We're still pretty tired, and so far to go. So steep on this first little bit. I forgot how steep it was. So close to the end, way up there. But the views are killer. Half a mile to go. I know, I feel a pinch in my neck too, but I'm not carrying the weight like you are. We might make it back up by sunset. It's possible. The sun is setting so quickly. So close. Feel like passing out. Tonight, hot shower and horizontal will feel so good. We made it back up and feel like a champion. You should too if you made it to the end of this video. A big thank you to all my geology teachers along the way, and a thank you to all teachers that inspire curiosity.
The end.
We really thank you so much for coming with us on our hike down the Grand Canyon's Bright Angel Trail. Please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed the geology, please like this video. Woo! You did it. The backpack has come off. Okay, what are some takeaways from this? At no point is it wheelchair accessible.
Only mule
Next time, go by mule.
hikers, and or you can roll out of a cliff.
So I don't know if we've talked you into or out of doing this hike, but hope you enjoyed coming with us.
It's a nice scenic hike. It's worth it.
It was worth it. We're sitting. For the record, I closed my move ring over 6 times. My heart rate got up to 158 at one point, and I burned 2,250 calories. Can't wait to do it again.